Hello, I'm Chuck Long, and on this edition of the Entertainment Outlook, great entertainment with something for everyone is heading to TPAC. We're talking about Chicago, Camelot, some blue men, and a famous reindeer named Rudolph. Here to tell us all about these, Tony Marks. Great to see you, Tony.
Great to see you. Thank you.
You guys have such a great lineup this year. I know there's been a lot of buzz about the entire lineup. I know you're pleased with that, but pleasantly surprised?
I think we knew going in that this season was going to get a great response. I mean, we started putting this together, and just for background, we build these seasons years in advance, so we're always programming ahead. So as this season started coming together for us, we started counting up the Tony Awards, and we're like, this is going to be one of the most awarded seasons we've had. So we knew going in it was going to be strong. Yeah,
because that was interesting. Right before the camera started rolling, you were talking, I mean, as far as the Tony Awards, you have Pippin in there, you have Mormon, you have, help me out now, I've blanked.
Once, which we just had, was the 2012 Tony Award winner for Best Musical. 8 Tony Awards, also Best Musical. Kinky Boots, which we have in the spring, is 2013 Best Musical Tony Award, also won 6 awards. Book of Mormon, like you said, is a special, is a 9-time Tony Award winner, which was the 2011 Best Musical, and Pippin's that Best Musical Revival. So you're talking about a real serious lineup here.
Yeah, it really is, and I know those tickets are going fast too. Now, coming up, and this is just one of those classic shows, it draws the crowds, Chicago.
Yeah, it's absolutely, I mean, it's a fantastic show. A lot of people don't realize that Chicago is the longest running American musical in Broadway history.
Really?
So not only were there previous iterations of musicals, but we're talking about that iconic Bob Fosse, Candor and Ebb, this sort of 1996 launch, is still running on Broadway. We had it last touring here in 2005. So it's been 9 years. It's always in the survey results. It's always what people want to bring back. So we finally had a chance to fit it into the schedule, and we had to go after it.
And you've got some great names in this. John O'Hurley is doing this. So what is it with in a show? I mean, sometimes, you know, they're going to put a name in there. Sometimes it's just the company. Do you realize thoughts on that?
Well, the trend to add a star or a name to a touring production has changed a lot over the years. It's coming back, though, in a really interesting way. I would say that Chicago owns this in a real way. Even on Broadway, they're always bringing in stars. There's other Broadway shows that are doing that where they're always bringing in names. But for us, it's really been the sort of original idea of these stars coming in has changed a little bit. John O'Hurley, people will know for television, he's fantastic. We're really excited about it. But what you're seeing now is a lot of cast members, a lot of leads are coming from The Voice, American Idol. They're out there. They have built other names. They're recording artists. And so you're getting a different take on the celebrity leads now.
What is it about Chicago that just keeps people coming back? Do you have a feel for that?
I think, you know, I think it's just iconic. I think that sort of sexy, Fosse choreography, it's a really interesting story. I think one of the things that's really appealing for me is it really is ripped from the headlines. A lot of people don't realize, even though it's headlines from almost 100 years ago, the characters in Chicago are based on real women. Maureen Watkins, who wrote the original play, was that reporter. She was covering Murderous Row, and these women who were on were real women, and she based this all on that story. So there really is this sort of contemporary celebrity culture feel. If you take that and then you add the artistic element that Fosse then brought to it, it's just an amazing show.
It's fun, it's raunchy, the music's incredible. I mean, it really is a great evening.
I mean, it really is one of the shows that hits on all cylinders.
Yeah, it really does. At the end of the segment, we'll go over all the dates, but just wanted to mention that starts on October 21st, so that is just around the corner.
That's right.
Now, a classic is coming soon, too, Camelot.
Sure, Camelot is coming. It's we've had it a few times before. It's a new production as well. This is actually a replacement piece for us. When we announced in April, we actually had Evita here, November 4th through 9th, and that was something we were really strong about, and due to some touring scheduling, we weren't able to make it happen. And we had, fortunately for us, we had already we were sort of keeping an eye on Camelot, and we knew it was coming, and we were able to make it work. So we're really kind of excited about this. It not only is it a title that people will know, but it's going to have a real fresh look.
Well, and that's the thing, too, because if a show, I think a lot of people sometimes just think, oh, the same touring show, you know, year after year.
Sure.
But that's a good point, that this is a completely new.
Completely renew. Yeah, they put out some promotional photos for it. We know that the cast has been announced and that they're rehearsing, but it's going to be something that we're going to be breaking to the audiences very quickly. They're going to get to know very quickly.
Classic, but the fresh twist on that.
Yeah, which is always great.
It really is. Okay, November 4th is when that starts. Rudolph, for the family, for entertainment during the holidays, this is going to be a big one.
It really is. I mean, holidays are always big in our building. The resident companies, Nashville Ballet, Nashville Opera, and the Rep, they always do such amazing shows, and a lot of times we tend to sort of get out of their way and let them have the amazing runs that they have with shows that are institutional here. We had a chance to bring something in with Rudolph Rudolph that was new and fresh, give us a little sort of bite at the family apple, and give, I think, all the families a chance to come in and find something for them in the building. So this is definitely based on the very classic animation.
Rankin Bass version.
Right, exactly. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun for families, but it's also going to be a lot of fun for people who are my age who grew up and watched that show every year. So
every year. So we can expect the classic songs from the Rudolph that we grew up with.
Classic songs, I believe.
Silver and gold. And
they might have expanded it a little bit, obviously, because the show's a little bit bigger than that show, but you're going to see those classic elements from the TV show. And even the design, the set design, the costume is meant to mimic a lot of from the show.
So excited about that.
It's gonna be cool.
I watched. Rudolph was one of those perennial classics you watched every single year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Now, also, you talk about a classic, but it's I would say a new age classic.
Sure.
The Blue Man Group. Let's talk about them.
This is a really interesting show for us. It's obviously it's a special for us. It's not technically a musical. It's not presented in the same way. It's more of a concert experience. The real strength of it is that because the Blue Men don't speak any language, there's no cultural barrier. So you're really looking at something that can appeal to all audiences, all languages. It's a lot of fun. It's funnier than you would think. It's really just kind of a circus-like atmosphere. I'm really excited to see it. And we've had it a couple of times here, I think, in the last 6 or so years, and it's always done really well.
Now, we're seeing some of the clips right there, but for someone who's never been to see the Blue Man Group on stage, what do you tell them about, how do you prepare them for it?
I think we focus on, it's obviously a very visual show. It's multimedia. I think the premise of the Blue Men is that there's some sort of an alien kind of presence that's there investigating our culture and finding fun with pop cultural references in music. Very percussion heavy, very innovative. Like I said, a lot funnier than you would think. We really try to position it as less of a storyline and more of a concert experience.
Okay, well, I want to make sure that we get all the dates on these. And again, very popular shows, so I do advise you go in and get those tickets as soon as possible. So there you see it, Chicago, October 21st. Camelot opens November 4th. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, a holiday classic, coming for the first time here, December 16th, and the Blue Man Group, January 6th. And for tickets, just go to tpac.org. Again, these are big shows, so the tickets go fast. So if you want a good seat, go ahead and get those now. So, Tony, it's always great to see you, and look forward to seeing all these shows.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Well, when I return, I'll have a preview of another award-winning drama coming to a stage near you, so don't go away. We'll be right back.